Welcome in, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. We are going to just do a quick live. We're going to be doing some solving equations. So if you know anybody that's struggling with one-step equations, how to write them, how to solve them, that's what we're going to be doing today, okay? So let's start with number one. Remember, whenever you're trying to solve equations, what you're trying to isolate is the variable, okay? And what the variable means, that's just a letter. So I want that v by itself, okay? So what does that mean? If I have a minus 9, I have to do the opposite of subtraction. And the opposite of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. And so we end up with v by itself. So we drop it down. Equals, and then 14 plus 9 is going to give us 23. And so V equals 23. Hello, thank you for the double taps, you guys. Welcome in on a Tuesday, right? So tell me what you guys get for number 2. Does anybody have the answer for number 2? Somebody says simple addition gets me sometimes, right? I know, I'd be like, it's a simple multiplication that get me sometimes too. And I'm a whole math teacher, so I completely understand. So somebody said 106 they got. Love it. All right. So what we're going to do, remember, our goal is to get this t by itself. So you have to look at what's with the t. It's this negative 72. So we're going to add 72 to both sides. This cancels, so it leaves t by itself. And then 4 plus 2 gets us 6. 7 plus 4 gets us 11. So I get 116. I'm doing two-step equations. Oh, somebody said, I'm doing two-step equations and I'm so confused. Well, good. Okay, so this one step really will break down. So the difference between 2 steps and 1 step is the 1 step helps you because you're understanding that you always have to move the thing that's with the number that's with the variable. And so when you have 2 steps, so let me break this down for you real quick. So let's say we had 2t plus 5 equals 15, right? This is a 2-step type of problem versus a 1-step. Well, if you get really good at 1 step, you understand when you jump to 2-step that you can never move this first. You always have to move this. See, in 1 step, we're constantly moving the number that's with the variable, the number that's on the side of the variable. See, a lot of people try to just jump to here, to this 2, but you can't do that. You always have to move the number like in 1 step. That's why we do 1 step before we jump to 2 steps. I hope that helps, hon. Okay. Yes, I do tutor privately. Email me at impactmath19@gmail. Okay. .com. All right, so let's go number 3. Number 3. So we have negative 61 equals d plus negative 18. Now, they try to do this fancy stuff to just confuse people. But if you understand that when you're solving, you want this d by itself, the thing that has to move that's not causing this d to be by itself is this negative 18. So you have to look here, how do I move this opposite sign of the negative? Well, I'm going to add 18 to both sides. And then this cancels. So we drop down, we have d equals. Okay, now d is by itself. So now we're going to do negative 61 plus 18. So we're down $61 and we're going to add 18. So really we could do 61 minus 18. So I'm going to borrow here, change this to a 5. 11 minus 8 gives us 3. Or better yet, 8 plus what gives us 11? 3. And then 5 minus 1 gives us 43. But remember, which number is bigger? The 61. And we have to take the sign of the bigger number. So it's going to be negative 43. Okay. Good. Yes, I see those negative 43s coming in. All right, so let's go to number 4. We have 18 plus z equals 40. And that's a z, okay? So nobody think it's a 2, it's a z. Okay. So what do you guys get about, what is your answer for number 4? Negative 22. Subtract 40. Let's talk about that. Subtract 18. Subtract 18. Okay, so remember, we're trying to get this variable, the letter by itself. See, if I subtract 40 over here, I'm not getting this z by itself. So I don't want to move the 40. I want to move the thing that's on the side of the z, which is the positive 18. And I see those minus 18s coming in. Wonderful. So we're going to drop down. We get z by itself now because this canceled. And 40 minus 18, what do we get? 40 minus 10 is 30. 30 minus 8 is 22. Positive 22. Watch those signs. Yeah, no negative. It's positive 22 because which number's bigger? 40. And since the 40 is positive, that's the operation that has to go with it. Good. All right. So what we've been doing is we've been doing the opposite of addition and subtraction. That's what we've been doing for the first 4 problems. Now, how do we solve number 5? Thank you so much for the rose, Mangolium. Good. Somebody said, okay, I see what I did. -4, divide. Divided. Yes. Good, you guys. I'm glad I didn't get no pluses. Okay, I'm surprised I didn't get no plus add for. Okay, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, the operation is multiplication. So we have to undo multiplication by division. And we divide by whatever with the letter. Again, our goal is to get this a by itself. So I'm going to divide by -4 to both sides. And I get a equals a negative. A positive divided by a negative is always a negative. And then 48 divided by 4 is going to give us 12. Okay. And how I look at this, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay. That's how you can break that down if you don't see it. Okay. Thank you so much. Look for the rose. Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Okay. Is it gonna focus? Let it focus here. Oh no, it's looking blurry, you guys. Okay, there it goes. So number 6, okay? We have a variable. We have this is called a coefficient, okay? Just means a number. A number attached to a variable. That means they're multiplied. So we're gonna undo that with the division, and we're gonna divide by 12. Can I see some answers in the chat for number 6? What do we get? -11. Good. Good. -12, -11, 11. Do you ever do anything with advanced 9th grade geometry or advanced 9th grade data analysis? Yes, I do do geometry. I haven't done a statistics live. I should do that because a lot of people be needing that help. But I do geometry. So we have -11 is our answer. So a negative divided by a positive is always a negative. And then 12 times 11 gets us 132. So I saw some 12s in there. Remember, 12 times 12 is 144, not 132. So watch those signs and then just practice that multiplication. Okay. All right. So let's check out number 7. Okay, this one, thank you, Rose, for for the shared live. Thank you, thank you. So number 7. There's multiple ways we can do this. But let's talk about this 2 signs here. What can we change these 2 signs to? What can we do with these 2 negatives? Good. Somebody said positive, positive, positive. Perfect. So 2 negatives go to a positive. So we can rewrite this as 18 plus F equals 91. Now, remember, our whole goal is to get this variable, which means letter, by itself. So we have to ask ourselves, what is with the F? Well, this positive 18. Good. Blue says subtract 18. Subtract. Y'all is on it tonight. Love it. So we're going to subtract 18 to both sides. Good. And then we're going to drop down our F and 91 minus 18. So if we do 91 minus 10, that's 81. And then 81 minus 8. Well, 81. So 81 minus 10 gets me 71. Add 2 more. 73. Is that what you guys got? Good. 73, 73. See, I'm telling you guys, I'm like super slow when it comes to like mental math. Formulas I'm good at. Processes I'm good at. But mental math is like, ugh. Did everybody notice how my brain processed how I minus that without doing the borrowing thing? So I said, okay, let me minus 10 because 18 is 10 plus 8, right? So if I minus 10 from here, I know that's 81. Then I said, well, my brain was like, not 81 minus 8. That's not working for me. So then I said, Lord, let me minus another 10. And I got 71, but since I took away 10, I'm too far away, 2 away from 8. So I had to add back that 2, and that's how I got the 73. Oh, okay. Jess said that's how mine works too. I love it. And then some people, they able to see 91 minus 18. Yes, I see somebody said I'm making it harder. See, it just all, and it's so crazy, but that's how my brain works. And so that's just me, and it's good. It doesn't matter how your brain works because how your brain works can get you to the right answer. So it's beautiful. That's why I love math. Oh, thank you for the heart. All right, let's go to number 8. Okay, so what do we do? Multiply by 1 over 3 on both sides. Thank you, TBH, for the rose. Okay, so negative 15. Good. Somebody said the answer is negative 15. Good. So somebody said multiply by 3. Yes. See, I can't multiply by 1 over 3. And let me show you why we can't do that. Okay? Because if I multiply by 1 over 3 to both sides, what's happening is this is not canceling. I get 1 times 1 and then 3 times 3. So I'm just making it bigger. But so we don't want to do this. Okay? But if I multiply both sides by 3, then I'm getting 3 times 1, which is 3 over 3, V, okay? So 3 divided by 3 is 1V. Okay, thank you, baby. 1V equals, and then negative 5 times 3 gets me negative 15. So we get V equals negative 15. And that is our answer. So if we look at number 9, then what we're going to do is we're going to get U over 8 equals negative 4. So opposite of division is going to be multiplication. So what are we going to multiply both sides by? What do we get? 8. Good. Because that's what's in the denominator. So we're going to multiply this by 8 and we're going to multiply this by 8. So this cancels and we get U equals negative 32. And that is our answer. Thank you so much for the roses, you guys. Wonderful. Now this one, how are you guys seeing number 10? How can we do that one? King David said, I miss math. Oh, I know. Yes. I love it. I'm glad you like math. So 7, we can cross multiply. Yes, we can cross multiply. So this is kind of like a proportion type of problem when you see something like this. We could cross multiply, or you see how we have this 1/3 and we just multiply both sides by 3? Well, can't I multiply both sides by 5? So I can multiply by -5 and I can multiply by -5. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait, why are you multiplying by -5 and it's just a 5 down here? Well, because I want this negative gone. So I know a negative times a negative changes to a positive, and then this 5 and this 5 will cancel out because 5 divided by 5 goes to a 1. So that leaves me with K. And then again, these cancel, and I'm left with 1. And so 7 times a -1 gets me a -7. And that is our answer. Thank you for the lives. This helps to keep my math skills fresh. Oh, I love it. I can't spell, but I love math. That's right. Hey, me either, okay? There was no winning no spelling bees over here. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. And the shares and the follows. Thank you, thank you. And it's like so funny because I have a 6-year-old. And, when you're a math teacher, you're like, okay, do you have a math brain or do you have that artsy brain? What kind of brain do you have? And just trying to figure out, just try to have the patience. It's different when you're a parent, you're trying to teach your own kids. I tell you that. It's like, whoa, I got all these patience for other kids. I got to have patience for my own kids. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's look at 11. Okay. What are we going to do with number 11? No, I do not have. I haven't started my content. I usually just do 6th grade and up and really focus on tests like HESI test, GED, ASVAB, ACT. But I am planning on starting a kids now that I'm working with my soon to be 1st grader. Woo! And so I am going to plan on starting that. Just helping parents what I'm doing when I see my daughter struggle, different things like that. So somebody says subtract 2/5. Wonderful. Good. Sometimes our brains shut down, and they shut down because they're like, I hate fractions. I don't want to do nothing with them. I don't know how to even solve. No, you have to train your brain. This is just a number. It's just a number. So what is my goal? My goal is to get this W by itself. So if I want this W by itself, I have to move what's with the W. So since it's adding, I have to do -2/5 and -2/5. And this cancels. So now let's talk about it. I'm going to write this horizontally. We have 3/4 -2/5 equals W. When we subtract fractions, what must we have the same? Good. So Spencer says 7/20. Richie said LCD is 20. Good. The common denominator. Yes. And what that means is the bottom number has to be the same. So we have to think of a number that goes into 4 and 5, which you guys already said is 20. So 4 and 5 can go into 20. So I'm asking myself, 4 times what can give me 20? Well, 5 and 5. What I do to the bottom, I must also do to the top. Here, I'm asking myself, What am I asking myself? 5 times what can give me 20? Well, 4. And I have to do top and bottom. So I'm going to end up with 3 times 5 gets me 15 over 20 minus 2 times 4 gets me 8 over 20. And 15 minus 8 is going to be 7 over 20. Good. So I did see somebody say 7 over 20. Wonderful. Yes, 7 over 20. Good, Rainbow. Yes. Hey, E-Roll Long 77. Welcome, welcome. All right, so number 12. We have -1/2 plus a equals 5/8. Okay, I want to see it in the chat. What do we have to move to the other side? -1/2. Good. Yes. The -1/2 is what we have to move to the other side. Now, why we have to move the -1/2 is because, again, whenever you're solving equations, you're asking yourself, what do you want by itself? I want the letter by itself. So this -1/2 is what's causing this not to be by itself. So I have to move it. So I'm going to add 1/2. And why I'm adding 1/2 is because it's opposite of the subtraction. So this cancels and I get A equals 5/8 plus 1/2. All right. Okay. We need that. We need those LCDs. LCD. We have an 8 and we have a 2. I need these to be the same. So what number am I going to multiply this by? Is it 16? Is that too high? 2 times 4. Good. So I can make these the same by doing, by changing this to an 8. So you guys are not wrong when you do 16, okay? You're not wrong, but you're going to cause yourself to do more. If it's a time test, you're doing more work, okay? Let me just say that. So 4 times 1 is 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. Since I have the same denominator, that stays the same. And 5 plus 4 gets me 9. So it's 9/8. Yep, 9/8. Good. All right, let's go to 13. So -5 over 7 equals y minus 2. Somebody said, let's reduce it. Okay, so we can't reduce this because they have absolutely nothing in common, but we can change it to a mixed number if that's what you want to do. And this will help people with the Hesse test. So whenever you're going from a mixed number, you're doing the bottom. Well, you're doing 9 divided by 8, okay? So the bottom number goes on the outside. The numerator goes underneath the division bar. So you're asking yourself, good. Sasha said 1 1/8. 1 1/2. Is it 1 1/2? 1 1/8. Okay, so 8 goes into 9 one time. And 1 times 8 is 8. Okay. So 9 minus 8 is 1. And then we're going to do 1 over. We put the remainder over what we're dividing by is 8. So that is our answer. Yep, 1 1/8. Great. All right, we're going to jump to 13. Okay, I want to see the comments flood. What am I moving to the other side? Plus 2. Wonderful, you guys. 2. Good. Yes, add 2 to both sides. Yes, because we want this y by itself. So I'm going to add. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So we get y equals, and we have negative 5 over 7 plus 2. Okay. What can I put the 2 over? What can go 2 over what? What can I put down here? A 1? Good. A 1. Okay. Good, because every whole number can go over 1. Okay. Now, again, this is adding fractions. Whenever we add fractions, we have to have the same denominator. So if this is a 7, I need this to be a 7. So I can multiply this by 7. But what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Okay. So I get negative 5 sevenths plus 2 times 7 is 14 over 7. Good, 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 good. Ooh, okay. Sasha said 9 over 7. I love it. So you're down $5 and you just put $14 in your bank. So how much are you going to be showing? $9. Okay. Over, remember this stays the same, 7. And that's our answer. Good. All right. Now, what can we do for 14? What can we do down here? How can we get V by itself? Do we have any ideas? Oh, somebody said, but again, you can make it a mixed number. Yes. Would you like us to make it a mixed number? We can do that. So some people said divide 2/3, move 2/3. Okay. Yes, please. Okay, somebody asked. So we're going to, before we move here, you guys, we're going to make this a mixed number, okay? So again, we're going to write 9 divided by 7, okay? So we're asking ourselves how many 7s can fit into 9? 1 can. So 1 times 7 is 7. And then 9 minus 7 is 2. So we have a remainder of 2 over what we divided by, which is 7. So we have 1 and 2 7s. Okay. Now, okay. Whenever you have a number attached to a letter, remember they're multiplied. So for us to undo this, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Does anybody know what the reciprocal means? That just means the flip. Okay. Flip. All right. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 over negative 2. And I'm going to multiply this by 3 over negative 2. See, when we multiply by the reciprocal, I want to break this down, okay? We get 3 times a negative 2, which is a negative 6, over negative 2 times 3, which is a negative 6. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 goes to a 1. That's why we have just V left. This is why they cancel out. But I don't think enough of us teachers really explain why they cancel. So when you multiply by the reciprocal, you're going to get the same number on top as the bottom. And that's why it cancels out. I just want to explain that. Oh, can you guys see it? Sorry. I just wanted to explain that for some people that maybe have never understood it, never got it. Just want to break that down, why we do this, okay? So I said all this to get one number. That's why I failed math. No, it's not all this. It's just one step. And hey. All right, so let's look at here. So remember, I could put this over 1. So 22 divided by 2, that's what I'm looking at. So 22 divided by 2, well, what's half of 22? Well, it goes to 11. And 2 divided by 2 goes to a 1. And negative divided by a negative goes to a positive. So 11 times 3 is 33. Answer. This is what I get for being absent in math class, right? I'm telling you, and they do this so quick, and then it's like if you miss this, it's like, oh, I don't even know what we doing now. Like, you just lost me. Because they do this when they get to 2-step, when you get to 3-step, they constantly are doing this. Yeah, some people saying they don't understand this one. Okay, let me do it a different way. Let's do it a different way, okay? So forget, like, if you don't understand the whole reciprocal thing, let's forget that. So we have negative 2 over 3v equals negative 22, okay? Thank you so much for the rose, Maria. So what I want to do is first I want to get rid of this 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Let's just do that first, okay? Because I want to get rid of this 3 in the bottom. So I'm going to cancel the 3's. And then I get negative 2v equals negative 22 times 3 is negative 66. Okay. All right. So how do I get v by itself now? What do I have to do? What's my last step? Yep, this is algebra, the very beginning. And this is also a 7th grade math. Divide by negative 2. Good, yes. So if we divide both sides by negative 2, then we get v equals a negative divided by a negative is always a positive. And half of 66 is 33. So there's multiple ways to do it. That's why I like math, because it's not just one way works for every way. It's like you could do it. You could, however your brain sees it, you got multiple ways to see it. Okay. How do you know when to add or subtract or when to cross multiply? So how you know when to add or subtract or when you multiply is by the operations that the problem gives you. See here, this fraction bar, you have to understand that means division. So to undo this division, I had to multiply both sides by 3 to undo the division. Then here, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied together. So to undo multiplication, you divide. So it's about recognizing what operation they're giving you and undoing it. That's how you know whether you're adding, subtracting, dividing, or multiplying. Okay, that's how you know. So we can't go right. Oh, let me focus in. We can't do math without some word problems, right? Yeah, you're so welcome. So we're going to finish out with these word problems, you guys. Okay, and I think, yeah, my next lesson is geometry. Yep. So we're going to finish out. Yeah. So we're going to finish out here. Okay. Oh, no word problems, right? So we're going to read it. We're going to try our best and we're going to do it. So 15. So 6 times a number is 132. Can you guys put it in the chat for me? How will we translate this into numbers? 6 times a number is 132. Oh, thank you so much for the teddy bear. 6n equals 132. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. And I see people already solving it. So 6 times a number. Well, we don't know where the number is. So whenever you don't know something, you put a letter. So I'm going to use in. Is goes to equal and 132. So remember, when we show times between a number and a letter, we squish them together. Okay? So now if we have to solve this, we're going to undo times, which is divide. But what you're dividing by is the number that's with that letter, which is 6. So we get n equals, ooh, what is this, y'all? What do we get here? I gotta go old school. 6 divided by 132. So 6 can go into 13 2 times. That gives us 12. And then 6 can go into 12 2 times. So we get 22. Good. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Can we see 16 in the chat? Can you guys tell me how you guys would write this out? Oh, somebody said they can't see it. Oh, sorry. Is my thing going off? So right here, the captions are covering the problems. Oh, I think if you guys slide your phone somewhere, I forgot how you supposed to slide it. You can slide the captions. Yeah, somebody said you could slide the captions, but like if you slide it to the left, then the captions are not in there. But it says 5/11 times a number is 55. So 5/11 times a number is 55. How would you guys write that out? 5/11 times a number is 55. So Mia, n is 11, 1, 55. So 5/11 we can write as 5/11, okay? Times a number. I don't know what the number is, so I'm just going to put a letter in. Is means equal 55. All right, this is like that last problem on the last page that we just did. So we have 5/11 in times 55. What step do we want to do first? What can we do first to both sides? Oh, good. Somebody said I said that. Good. Multiply 11. Yes, dinosaur. Yes, multiply 11. Remember, we're multiplying because this is division. So we have to undo that. And how we know that we're multiplying by 11 is because that's what's in the bottom. We want to clear our bottom out. So we're going to cancel this. Okay. And we're left with 5n equals. Now, I could do 55 times 11. But let's just say that you're taking a test where you have no calculator and you have a time test. You can literally just write this as 55 times 11, okay? Because remember, our goal is to get this in by itself. So if I'm trying to get this in by itself and I see multiplication, how can I undo multiplication? Well, I can divide both sides by 5. This cancels. And I get n equals, well, I would rather see 55 divided by 5. Cancel this out and make this 11. And then 11 times 11 is 121. Because if I waste time doing 55 times 11, I don't have time, especially when it's a time test. So I could literally just drop this down. I know I'm going to divide by 5. And then 11 times 11 is much easier than doing 55 times 11. Wait, what? Exactly. Yep. If you have no calculator, do not waste your time doing 55 times 11. And then you would have to divide by 5. just drop it down and divide by 5. What 55 divided by 5, and leave that 11. And do 11 times 11. How do you know I'm not supposed to? What grade is this? This is Algebra 1, freshman math. How do you know I'm not supposed to divide by 11? See, you can't divide by 11 because it's already 5/9 is already divided by 11. And our goal is to get this in by itself, so we have to undo the division. So that's why we're multiplying by 11 and not dividing, because it's already divided by 11. Great question. Oh, good. So somebody said, thanks, I won't have a calculator and it's timed. Yep. Cheryl, yes. Especially my ASVAB people. They don't get a calculator and they have to do everything mental. So we can always divide by the denominator. Oh, you mean here when we divide it by the 5 to both sides? Yes, you can always, because why we're dividing is because whenever you have a number attached to a letter, they're multiplied. So we're undoing that multiplication. Oh, Queen, email me. impactmath19@gmail. Like, I tutor people on the ASVAB. I usually say at least a month and a half. Well, it depends on their skills. Some people could do it in like 3 weeks. But usually people that fail, they might need a little bit more practice. But email me if you need tutoring, okay? Because we can't give up. We got to keep on trying because we need that good money. All right, let's look at 18, you guys. 3 2/3 times a number equals to 2/9. It's like, what? But 3 2/3. So 3 2/3 times a number. So I don't know what I'm times in, so I'm just put a number by it. Equals to 2/9. And this is like, I'm done. I'm over it. This looks crazy, right? Right? That's what it looks. That's what our brain tells us. What is this? This is just, why can't they just put a little 2 right there? Why do you have to do 3 2/3? But it's okay, okay? Don't let your mind psych you out. What we're going to do here is we're going to change this mixed number to an improper. And how we do that is we multiply and then we add. So we do 3 times 3 plus 2. So we multiply, then add, over what it's being divided by. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2. And 9 plus 2 gets us 11/3. We're going to drop down our n, and we're going to drop down our 2/9. Now, this problem is looking so much like this. So we have, I'm going to bring it up here, you guys. 11/3 n equals 2/9. What are we going to do first? What can we do first? How will we solve this? Times by 3. I love it. So we're going to times by 3 because we want this 3 gone. So why we have to times is because we have to do the opposite of division. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 and I'm going to multiply this by 3. This cancels. And I have ln equals, well, I'm going to put this over 1. And then I'm going to look, 3 can go into 9. So if I divide this by 3 and I divide this by 3, I end up with 2/9 divided by 3 is 3. Times 3 divided by 3 is 1/1. So 2 times 1 gets me 2/3 equals 11 n. All right, this one is not so pretty, you guys. It is very ugly, okay? But let's not forget our steps. Remember, my whole goal is to get this n by itself. So how do I get an n by itself? I need to do what? Divide. Because I'm doing the opposite of multiplying. So I'm going to divide both sides by 11. Yes, so this is where it gets ugly. So I'm going to put divide by 11 like this. So this cancels and I get n equals 2/3 divided by 11 over 1. Well, now they gone too far, right? Dividing fractions, like now we dividing fractions. But remember, you can never divide fractions. So we're going to do the keep, change, flip. We can only multiply fractions. So we're going to keep the 2/3. We're going to change this division to times. Okay. And we're going to flip this. We're going to do the reciprocal. So we're going to do 1 over 11. And so we're going to get n equals 2 times 1 gets us 2. And 3 times 11 gets us 33. And that is our answer. So you see how much algebra intertwines? 7th grade. This is 7th grade. Really, this part right here becomes 7th grade math, you guys. Especially when you can't do no calculator, like dividing fractions, all that fraction work is really 7th. Yeah, I think that's really where it hits it with the fractions. 7th, maybe a little bit in 8th, but middle school comes in here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, this one was a doozy because it didn't work out perfectly. It's this mixed number. I thought it equals 2/9. Why did you think that? What? 47, I'm lost. 47, I'm lost. Okay. Okay, somebody said, Miss Taylor, I understand. Wow, I'm in pre-algebra in college. Oh, wonderful, Kevin. Knock it out. Knock it out. What about 47? I'm not getting where you guys are getting 47 at. How can we check the answer? Good. Now that's what we want to do. So somebody said, how can we check the answer? Well, we can plug this into our equation down here. Okay, so let's do that. So we can I'm going to move it up here, okay? We're going to have to go up here for some more space. So we're going to do 11 over 3. And we're going to times that by what answer we got, which is 2 over 33. Okay. And we're hoping it comes out as 2/9. So if this side is equal to 2/9, we know we did it correct. So we can cross simplify. Okay. So 11, we can divide this by 11. And we can divide this by 11. So 11 divided by 11 is 1 over 3 times 2 over 33 divided by 11 is 3. So 1 times 2 gets us 2. And 3 times 3 gets us 9. And since we get 2/9 here and this side is 2/9, we know we did it correct. It checks. Yep. So we know this answer is correct. That was a great question. Thank you for asking that. Yeah. Oh, I don't have any more. My next live is gonna be on geometry. Plan on doing that next, or I might be doing it's either gonna be geometry or conversions. I haven't decided yet, you guys, but it's one of these is coming tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night, and I will most definitely catch you guys on tomorrow. Alrighty. Thank you, Jasmine, for the roses. Bye, everyone.